Well, good morning. Here's a devotional thought for Thursday. This morning as I was reading Isaiah chapter 17. Verses 7 and 8 really stood out to me today. In that day, people will look to their Maker and turn their eyes to the Holy One of Israel. They will not look to the altars, to the work of their hands. And what stood out to me today is this idea that this passage presents a fascinating contrast. In any given day, we can look to one of two things for our strength and our stability to make us feel reassured. We can look to the Lord, who is our Maker, who created absolutely everything to make us steadfast and strong and able to do all that we need to do in this day. Or we can look to the work of our own hands. We can look to our own capacity, our own ability, our own strengths, our own resources, our own bank account, our own capacity to work, and look at those things to be what gives us strength or support or stability. And it also really struck me that I think because as Northern people, we like to be independent. We really like this feeling of our own sense of self-sufficiency, that I can accomplish what I need to, I can work the way that I need to, I can get done the things that I need to. And I wonder if sometimes this doesn't become an idol for us, like they talk about in this passage, an altar that we move towards, that we look towards our own strength, or our own capacity, or our own ability, or our own resources to make us strong and steadfast and firm, that if we have those things, we think we are unshakable. And maybe in some ways we worship our own capacity to accomplish, and to do the things that we would like to do. And perhaps one of the invitations of this season of COVID-19 is a challenge for us to turn and to move our eyes off of our own capacity, off of our own ability, off of the things that we ourselves can produce, and to turn them back towards our Maker, to worship God and to worship Him alone, to realize that He is the only true God, the only one worthy of all of our devotion, that's not our own capacity or our own abilities that will save us. It's not our own abilities that allow us to live a life that is worth living, but it is the Lord God, our Maker, who gives us all of these things. And perhaps in this season, it's a renewed call to worship Him faithfully and well, because He's truly the one who can strengthen us and empower us. He's the one that our help comes from. As I was thinking about this passage, I was also reminded of the words of Psalm 121. I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the Maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, He who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from all harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and your going, both now and forever. Why would we not trust in Him when He can do these kinds of things? He can actually watch over us. We can strengthen us and walk through whatever painful journey we have ahead of us. Why would we not place our trust in Him instead of in our own capacity, in the work of our hands? And so as you go through this day, I pray that God would continue to bless and to guide and to keep you, and may He give each of us wisdom and discernment to know where we are placing our trust in the work of our own hands, as opposed to turning our eyes towards our Maker. May God strengthen and empower you to turn your eyes towards Him today. God bless you.